Hey everybody, IdrA here, and I'm going to bring you another StarCraft 2 commentary, and hopefully my fraps can hold up because it looks like my frame rate's a little bit low, but I'm going to try and bring you guys this replay regardless. Hopefully it comes out and you guys can actually hear me apologize for this right now, even if it already looks okay. But anyway, today I've got a special treat for you guys. I have my favorite player of all time here playing some a ladder game here. This is from the Team Liquid StarCraft 2 pack that they sent out recently, a couple weeks ago, replays. This is Liquid Huck versus TSL Curious. And yeah, I mean, even though his name is here in Korean, but I did check. This is definitely TSL Curious. This is actually from a few weeks ago. This is between the GSL. Let's see here. Which one is he? Is he talking about when he ate the waffle cookie for getting into Code S? He might be. I'm not sure. We'll see what he's talking about in a minute there. But Huck there, definitely one of the top Protoss in the world. Just recently got into Code S a couple weeks ago. Unfortunately was knocked out of the World Championship. Let's see here. Just fighting GLHFGG. Okay, well, I guess he's not going to explain exactly what his celebration was there, but obviously this is a bit of an old replay there. This is from patch 1.2. I don't have the cool replay stuff that everybody else has for these new replays, but I don't have any recent replays of Huck here, so we're just going to get into this game. Look at these APMs here, and it looks like Huck is just doing his usual pro spam here. Go to production. We have a pool going down before the hatch here for the Zerg player. Huck doing his hero probe, trying to do as much damage as possible. He's going to try and deny this hatchery for as long as possible as well, as he's walling off with his gateway, doing some pretty standard play. Probably got it at like 13, getting his gas, setting up his second pylon down here so he can warp in. This probe is just awesome. I love this hero probe here. And Curious is just going to have to wait until Zerglings come up in order to get rid of this, most likely. Huck running around, actually taking a lot of damage on that probe. Going to pop in, see if the pool's finished, see if he dropped a second gas or anything like that. And there is not a second gas. Going to run in the mineral line, try and actually hurt these drones with the gas, as Curious actually sends out a drone scout instead of waiting to get that hatchery up. But speed is going down for the Zerglings, and 4 are popping out, so they're going to be able to take out this probe pretty quickly as soon as they get down there. And Curious has not yet found exactly where Huck is. That Overlord and the drone are going to be moving there in just a second, though. But Huck, with his awesome game sense, smart enough to run away with that probe before the Lings come out, and he should be able to get home before they actually get there to kill him. So Huck got his wall off, got the Zealot in the little hole that usually lets people come out. Cybercore is done. This pylon, I expect, yep. Warp gate tech to be researched and being chronoed out. The hatch finally goes down for Curious, as these Lings just going to be running up to his base, going to poke in here every once in a while, see exactly what's going on, or what they can see going on, because sometimes Protoss players are bad and they just leave their buildings right here up by this front pylon so that these Lings will be able to just poke up the ramp and see exactly what's going on. But Huck's smarter than that, going to put his 2 gateways a little bit further back, so Curious does not exactly know what's going on. And Huck getting a sentry out. It looks like he's actually going to be going for a 3-gate expand. Now, if anybody's looking at this and wondering how the hell can this be that way, what you do is you can actually shift right-click your waypoints to make them go to one spot and then to another. So if anybody didn't know that little trick, then there you go. But now Huck going to be putting this pylon down here, going to be walling off the Zealot sentry, going to be pumping out more sentries. Because in a 3-gate expand, what the whole point is to get your 3 warp gates up and 5 sentries as quickly as possible to be able to force field off Lings from running inside while you're just getting up your expansion there. And looks like Curious is going to be smart and be searching around for any kind of proxy pylons while he's sending these 3 Lings here. Going to poke up and see what's going on. Going to inspect to see if there is that 3-gate expand. As the gate's now finished, Huck going to move out a little bit. Got his Nexus down. Expect to see a forge or a gateway here to finish walling off completely. This isn't actually a tight wall off right here, but that's okay because he has all these sentries here to force field. Going to actually go out, try and catch these Lings. They're able to run away. Recently, I've been able to see, or had the pleasure of seeing Huck in actual championships use this force field micro to the utmost greatest potential and actually box in a whole bunch of Zerglings. And it looks like Huck is actually going to do the 3-gate pressure style, where he's going to get all those units and go pressure the Zerg as quickly as possible. Either he's just going to take the Zelnaga cavern, but it looks like he is going to move out. and just scare the Zerg into making some extra Zerglings or a spine crawler or two, and just not have as many drones. As here we go. I was right. He's going to be pressuring this, so we will just check on that in just a second, as the expansion is almost done for Huck. See what the income tab looks like. It looks like, yeah, the Zerg is a little bit ahead, but only by 3 drones, which isn't all that good, because as a Zerg player, you kind of want to be 4 to 8, I guess. Well, I guess closer to 8 drones ahead of the other player at any given time. And it looks like Huck was just doing that pressure there, made Curious make a couple extra Zerglings and some Roaches here that he really didn't need, as Hallucination was actually done for Huck, and he's actually scouting with these Phoenix. And this is something I like to do a lot in my gameplay, is get that research out, get the Phoenixes going to see what is going on in the enemy Zerg's base, so that I know when to get my Colossus tech, if he's getting the Hydra Den, or if he's getting his lair at all, so that I know to get the Hydra Den. It looks like Curious is getting that lair. Poking out, making sure those Zerglings can't see anything, as we have 4 gates up now for Huck, and it doesn't look like any other kind of tech yet, but we'll see what he goes with. I'm sure he's just waiting for his gas to come up, and another pylon going down, another pylon going down. What are you going to do, Huck? That's what I want to know. And there it is. There's the Robo Bay right there in his expansion, going to get Immortals out for those Roaches, I assume. I don't think he needs Colossus yet, because he hasn't seen the Hydra Den. The lair is up, and I think Huck knows about that. Let's see if he knows about that lair. Yeah, he does know that the lair is on its way. So, Zargan's poking in just to see what kind of forces Huck has so far. See if he couldn't see any tech. I don't think he was able to see that Robo Bay yet. So that means that the Zerg player is just going to keep on producing Roaches and Lings, not knowing that there's going to be that Robo Bay up for the Immortals. Huck going to push out a little bit, make sure he gets as many Zerglings as possible to stop Curious from being able to scout. Going to go back with the Sentries and the Zealot. Stalkers are going to be moving out a little bit to poke around the map. So we have 4 more Zerglings going out to scout. Let's see here. Now Huck, yeah, definitely going to get that Immortal. The Spire is now going up for Curious with his 3rd base as well. Now, looks like Huck is actually going to be gearing up for that expansion also. And Curious is going to be able to run in here and just check out everything. Maybe take out a probe or 2. Yeah, there goes 1 probe. He's going to lose 2 Zerglings. So that was actually a halfway decent trade. 1 probe for 2 Zerglings, 50 minerals for 50 minerals. But they are going to see that Robo Bay and the fact that the Immortal's probably going to pop out. They didn't see the Immortal specifically. They doesn't know if it's an Observer or Immortal. But if he just pokes in again, he's going to be able to see that, because Huck had it rallied all the way over here. He's going to actually move out with it. Huck gearing up for that 3rd expansion, and it is down. Now, this is exactly what you want to do as Protoss. If you see the Zerg go for their 3rd base, because they need that 3rd base to keep up with the 2-base Protoss, at least strength-wise, that you get that 3rd base, just get ahead. Try to out-macro your opponent, as Huck is definitely, I think, doing that. Let's see here the workers. Yeah, he's definitely keeping up with that Zerg pretty well. 53 probes to 57 drones, and this is just not a good position for the Zerg player, who's actually looks like he's going to be moving out with this small force of Roaches and Lings. And if I'm correct about Huck's force field placement these days, he is just going to be able to just trap these units and just murder them. So we get a semi-wall off here at the 3rd base from Huck with a couple of gateways. Those forces there sitting for Huck. The rest of his forces sitting out there. He's going to get that forge up. I'd expect to see +1 from him soon. Photon cannons also going up. Yep, and there's the +1 attack. Curious. I'm just curious as to what Curious wants to do. That was terrible. Overlord speed done for Curious. So he's going to be able to just run around and check everything that Huck is doing inside the base. A couple Stalkers come in to kill that, just trying to stop him to see the 2nd Robo Bay, and no, it doesn't happen. But at the same time, Huck moves out to go kill these units, or those Overlords. He actually moved all of his Stalkers in there. Curious going to think about poking into this 3rd base. He just keeps creeping closer and closer, but he hasn't actually gone in there yet. So a few Overlords. He might actually go for drops, perhaps. I don't know. A couple Overlords gathering over here. A whole bunch of Mutas come in, and Huck doesn't have Blink or anything yet, so these Mutas are going to be able to just run around everywhere. A couple Stalkers going up near the mineral line, and Guardian Shield on Sentries is actually pretty good for dealing with Mutas, because those Mutas only do 9 damage per attack. Guardian Shield adds 4 armor. Oh, is that 4 armor? Oh, yep. Yeah, see, there was that force field micro. Huck was actually able to trap all of those Zerglings and a whole bunch of roaches there. Was able to just take them out. And oh my god, the force fields are amazing. Now, if he could just get the Immortals up there to attack, but he can't. Oh my god, the Immortals can't reach the roaches. There we go. Now they're able to get some pop shots off. And most of these roaches are going to be able to get away with taking down that warp gate to 54 HP. Now that was the smart move by Curious, trying not to run away, just trying to focus down that gateway, because once you're trapped like that, if you try to run away, that's it. They're all going to die because they won't be attacking at the same time. Curious going to take this time to get his 4th base up, but Huck didn't lose that many units or probes in that attack. In fact, Huck is only down by 4 drones now. It's not that bad of a position for Huck, because we have 8 photon cannons. Oh, going down all the mineral lines. Well, that mineral line. 2 going down there. Whew. He just has all this extra money. He didn't know what to use it with, so he's getting static defense, and that's okay, as we do have the Robo Bay. The Robo Bay is down, so he can start producing Colossus, but I don't know if he'll start doing it right away. He really doesn't have that much of a reason to yet, because there are no Hydras on the field at the moment. So there's no real scare of that. So he should be able to produce Immortals and Stalkers pretty safely against this army. And as we see, Huck is actually going to move into his base with the Stalkers, and at the same time, to take care of those mutants, at the same time, Roaches and Lings are going to be moving into Huck's base, and all these force fields just going to trap a whole bunch of these Roaches, but it looks like a Hallucinate Colossus is going to try and take some of the damage from those Roaches. The Curious is better than that, going to be taking out as many sentries as he can before running away. Going to trap a couple of Roaches, but these mutas took out these mining probes from gas, and now they're going to poke in again, try and get this pylon here. Now, that was actually a pretty good move. Attack from 2 fronts. Make Huck move away from the front of the base, move in and attack. But again, he just didn't. He lost a whole bunch of sentries in that attack, but realistically, Huck didn't lose too much. I'd really like to see Blink from him. It looks like he's getting that Twilight Council down to get Blink out to be able to deal with those mutas a little bit better. But at this point, we have burrowed Roaches now and a whole crap ton of Lings from the Zerg player. And he's got that 4th base is starting to mine. He's got Spine and Spore Crawlers everywhere. So he's going to be fairly well defended static defense-wise. And I don't know how to feel about the way that Huck is. I mean, he's handling this match the right way, but I just don't know if I like how it's going. And there is Blink going down for Huck. He's actually double producing Colossi and getting the range upgrade. So if we don't see Corruptors from our Zerg player anytime soon, we actually have Banelings going down. Oh my gosh, Banelings. You don't really see them that often. Baneling drop. Here we go. I lie. This is actually a pretty good strategy against the Protoss. Is what you do is you attack from the front and maybe the back with the mutas, and just drop the Banelings right on top of all the Stalkers and Sentries and everything that are sitting in the back. It does insane amounts of damage to the Protoss, and it's absolutely sick. So we'll see if this actually works. I believe that Curious lost this way to Huck in the GSL, if I'm thinking of the right player. I may be wrong, though, but Huck is actually going to be moving out here at the same time. Got 4 Colossus, a whole bunch of Stalkers and Sentries, and an Immortal with an Observer as well. So he's going to be able to move out with his other Observer. See this? He's a whole bunch of Overlords and some Banelings on the ground. He's going to expect Baneling drops, and Huck is smartly going to pull back a little bit. He wants to get this kind of conclave here, or concave, that will help him do the most damage. Sees that Infestor. Now, this is before the patch, where Infestors were really, really good. But the way that Curious wants to use these Infestors pre-patch is actually a really, really, really good idea, as Huck was actually going to try and get his next expansion up here. Muta's going to deny that.